Yeah, it's an interesting fight because the crazy thing is that Islam Makhachev is quite a sizable favorite according to DraftKings, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure I saw that online earlier this morning, and I think that's a little bit disrespectful to Jack Della Maddalena.
To start, wow, he just said Islam's minus 265, Jack plus 225. Honestly, that's a little bigger than I would have expected. That's a little bigger than I would have expected. I believe that people will probably come in on Jack Della Maddalena.
Robert Whittaker and Sean Brady are sending a clear warning message about Jack Della Maddalena ahead of UFC 322, and their words might just shock you. I'm gonna go Jack. I think he has that X factor. I think he has the gut, the grit, the determination to fight the takedowns, says former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker.
I'm gonna go Jack. I reckon. Well, okay. Okay. Obviously, I'm going Jack.
Everyone knows we always back the Aussie.
Jack. But when I said at that time, just then, that was objective. Okay, that was objective. Okay.
As you can be.
Because I think Jack has that X factor. I think he has the gut, the grit, the determination to fight the takedowns.
And Sean Brady adds fuel to the fire. Jack's very hard to hold down. He's a big body, hits like a freight train, has knockout power.
Tougher of a fight for Islam than people are giving Jack credit for. Like, Jack's very hard to hold down. He's a big body, hits like a freight train, has knockout power, and he showed, like, yeah, you can getting someone down doesn't mean dick. Can you hold them down?
Are the experts seeing something the betting odds are missing? Let's break it down. First, let's set the stage. UFC CEO Dana White dropped a bombshell announcement that has the MMA world buzzing. On November 15th at Madison Square Garden, UFC 322, former lightweight champion Islam Makhachev will attempt to make history by capturing a second title against defending welterweight champion Jack Della Maddalena.
Main event, UFC welterweight champion Jack Della Maddalena defends his belt for the first time when he takes on former UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev. Makhachev was #1 ranked pound-for-pound fighter in the world in 23, 24, and 25.
This isn't just any title fight, folks. Makhachev is trying to achieve something his legendary mentor Khabib Nurmagomedov never accomplished, becoming a two-division champion. But here's where it gets interesting. ESPN ranks Makhachev as the #2 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, while Della Maddalena sits at #8. On paper, this looks like a mismatch. The co-main event features another historic clash, former strawweight champion Zhang Weili moving up to challenge flyweight queen Valentina Shevchenko. But let's focus on the main event, because what the experts are saying might surprise you. Now here's where things get really interesting. While the betting odds heavily favor Makhachev at -265, some of the sport's sharpest minds are pumping the brakes. Robert Whittaker, the former UFC middleweight champion, isn't buying the hype. Listen to this. I'm gonna go Jack. I think he has that X factor. I think he has the gut, the grit, the determination to fight the takedowns, to fight the takedown attacks that Islam is gonna go for. And I think in a striking fight straight up, Jack is better.
But you know what? I'm gonna go Jack. I reckon. Well, okay. Okay. Obviously, I'm going Jack.
Everyone knows we always back the Aussie.
Jack. But when I said at that time, just then, that was objective. Okay, that was objective. Okay.
As you can be.
Because I think Jack has that X factor. I think he has the gut, the grit, the determination to fight the takedowns, to fight the ground. The takedown attacks that Islam is going to go for. And I think in a striking fight, straight up, Jack is better.
Whittaker continues, Jack has nothing to lose, and Islam's got everything to lose. He's the hottest prospect right now in MMA.
External factors aside as well, Jack has nothing to lose.
No, he doesn't.
You know what I mean? As well. And I think Islam's got everything to lose. He's the hottest prospect right now in MMA.
Yeah.
Then we have Sean Brady, the #2 ranked welterweight contender who just submitted Leon Edwards, and he's singing a similar tune. Jack's very hard to hold down. He's a big body, hits like a freight train, has knockout power, and he showed getting someone down doesn't mean D. Can you hold them down? Brady adds, Jack's really good at creating scrambles, getting back to his feet, separating hands, and we've seen that with Belal.
I think it's a lot tougher of a fight for Islam than people are giving Jack credit for. Like, Jack's very hard to hold down. He's a big body, hits like a freight train, has knockout power, and he showed, like, Yeah, you can getting someone down doesn't mean dick. Can you hold them down? Jack's really good at creating scrambles, getting back to his feet, separating hands. Like we've seen that with Belal. Gilbert did better at taking Jack down than Belal did. He had better positions on him, but yeah, I don't know. Selfishly, for me, I would want Islam to win because I want to fight Islam as for a legacy thing. Yet, and I think I can beat Islam. I think I can beat anybody in the world. And I want to grapple. I want my grappling to go against his grappling and see who's better. I really would love for that to play out. But if I had to pick, and I know Jack would be the underdog, I would pick Jack.
Even UFC legend Michael Bisping is questioning the odds, telling Bloody Elbow that the bookmakers might be overlooking Della Maddalena. And here's the kicker. Daniel Cormier was shocked to see Makhachev open as such a heavy favorite, saying, "That's a little bigger than I would have expected." So what makes Jack Della Maddalena so dangerous? Let's break down why these experts are backing the underdog.
Yeah, it's an interesting fight because the crazy thing is that Islam Makhachev is quite a sizable favorite according to DraftKings, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure I saw that online earlier this morning. And I think that's a little bit disrespectful to Jack Della Maddalena.
To start, wow, he just said Islam's minus 265. Jack plus 225. Honestly, that's a little bigger than I would have expected. That's a little bigger than I would have expected. I believe that people will probably come in on Jack Della Maddalena.
First, the numbers don't lie. JDM is on an incredible 18-fight win streak. That's not a fluke, that's dominance. His title-winning performance against Belal Muhammad in May was a masterclass. Remember, Belal was considered one of the division's elite wrestlers, and Della Maddalena not only defended all the takedowns, but dominated him standing. The Perth, Australia native hasn't lost since suffering back-to-back defeats at the very start of his professional career in 2016. Since then, pure domination. Brady makes a crucial point about JDM's grappling game. People sleep on Jack's grappling game and his jiu-jitsu. I don't think Islam is going to be as gung-ho with the takedowns as everyone believes, because Jack has that level of offense off his back.
And I want to grapple. I want my grappling to go against his grappling and see who's better. I really would love for that to play out. But if I had to pick, and I know Jack would be the underdog, I would pick Jack.
And it's funny you say the grappling. Then these things once in a while will turn out the way Aljamain against Brian Ortega did.
Yeah,
it winds up both guys are so good on the floor that it just becomes this stand-up fight. Have you had that at all, where you've encountered somebody else who is as...
And let's not forget, Della Maddalena has made a career out of proving doubters wrong. Former welterweight champion Tyron Woodley recently claimed JDM wouldn't have been a top 10 fighter in his era. Well, JDM just keeps proving people wrong. Now, let's be clear, Islam Makhachev didn't become the former pound-for-pound king by accident. The Dagestani fighter successfully defended his lightweight title 4 times before vacating to chase history at welterweight. His wrestling pedigree is undeniable, and his fight IQ is off the charts. But here's the million-dollar question. How will the move up in weight affect him? Whittaker raises a fascinating point. I think in a striking fight straight up, Jack is better. I think he wins in the hands. I think Jack's got the better game to strike over 5 rounds than Islam does as well, especially if Islam is trying to go for takedowns during the fight.
And I think in a striking fight, straight up, Jack is better. I think he wins in the hands. Yeah. I think Jack's got the better game to strike over 5 rounds than Islam does as well, especially if Islam is trying to go for takedowns.
Even Makhachev's coach, the legendary Khabib Nurmagomedov, has called this Makhachev's toughest test yet. When Khabib says that about an opponent, you better listen. The question isn't whether Makhachev is elite. He absolutely is. The question is whether he's walking into a buzzsaw that the betting public isn't seeing. The stakes couldn't be higher for both men. For Makhachev, this is about legacy. Win, and he joins the rare club of 2 division champions, potentially cementing himself as the greatest lightweight of all time and a pound-for-pound king. Lose, and questions will swirl about whether he should have stayed at lightweight. For Della Maddalena, this is his moment to shock the world. He's got the home crowd advantage being in the same time zone as Australia, and he's fighting with house money as the underdog. As Brady perfectly put it, Jack has nothing to lose, and Islam's got everything to lose. That's a dangerous combination in a fight game where confidence and pressure can make or break careers. So there you have it, fight fans. While the betting odds tell one story, some of the sport's most respected voices are telling another. Will Islam Makhachev make history and join the two-division champion club? Or will Jack Della Maddalena pull off one of the biggest upsets in recent memory? UFC 322 goes down November 15th at Madison Square Garden, and based on what we're hearing from the experts, this might not be the foregone conclusion many think it is. What do you think? Are Whittaker and Brady onto something, or is Makhachev too dominant to be denied? Drop your predictions in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the breakdown, subscribe for more UFC content, and we'll see you in the next one.
That the next fight for UFC lightweight champion Ilia Topuria would not be Islam Makhachev, which would make sense actually given Islam's got a fight against JDM coming up. But who could it be against? Well, Justin Gaethje.
I fought with Max. He knocked out Justin Gaethje. I fought with Charles Oliveira. He submits Justin. So that everyone is going to be like, they're going to know the result even before the fight.
He's going to be a huge underdog.
Yeah, he's going to be a huge underdog, and everyone's going to know what's going to happen. In the fight game, everything can happen, but it's like,
yeah,
bro, come on.
Say goodnight, Gaethje, Gikiwol, and still, Dieter UFC 322. Those are the chilling words from Ilia Topuria's manager that have sent shockwaves through the MMA world and left UFC fans absolutely triggered. In a move that could spell serious trouble for Islam Makhachev's Madison Square Garden plans, the lightweight champions team has seemingly leaked his next opponent, and it's not who anyone expected. From manager leaks to fan backlash, from title implications to retirement threats, this story has it all.
It's me or Armin, I believe somebody has to fight him this year, and I think I'm in a better spot than Armin, so someone's going to fight him. I hope it's MSG, New York City. I get to fight him, and then I get to defend it on the White House lawn. That's what I'm planning for.
Let's start with what we know. On August 27th, 2025, Lukasz Orzel, Ilia Topuria's manager, dropped what might be the most significant social media leak of the year. In an Instagram story that was quickly deleted, Orzel posted, "Say goodnight, Gaethje, and still, UFC 322. Now, this wasn't just some random social media banter. This was a direct hint that the undefeated Georgian Spanish champion, fresh off his stunning knockout victory over Charles Oliveira at UFC 317, would be making his first lightweight title defense against Justin Gaethje at UFC 322 on November 15th at Madison Square Garden.
And that man's name is Ilia El Matador Topuria. He went out there, he destroyed Charles Oliveira, knocked him out unconscious in the very first round.
The timing couldn't be more perfect, or more problematic, depending on your perspective. UFC 322 has been rumored to feature Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena as the main event. But if Topuria steps in, that completely changes the landscape. Lightweight contender Renato Moicano added fuel to the fire, telling Laerte Viana he'd heard whispers of Topuria versus Gaethje headlining UFC 322, with Alexandre Pantoja versus Joshua Vaughn as the co-main event.
Who do you think is going to fight for the lightweight title next?
I hope Elias Topuria, brother. I hope Elias Topuria, because motherfucker is good. We just saw what Volkanovski did last Saturday, you know. A contender, a really tough guy to deal. Diego Lopes, a lot of pressure, good jiu-jitsu, a ton of heart, and Volkanovski look as good as always, you know, and motherfucking Elias Topuria just knocked him out. So I want to see Topuria fighting for the belt.
But here's the kicker. Spanish journalist Alvaro Colmenero quickly warned fans that nothing is set in stone, urging everyone to wait for the UFC's official announcement. Now, let's talk about Justin Gaethje's position in all this. The highlight has been pushing hard for another title shot, and he's not being subtle about it. Gaethje has given the UFC an ultimatum. It's either a title fight next, a big money fight, or he hangs up the gloves. This would be Gaethje's third attempt at undisputed UFC gold. He won the interim lightweight title against Tony Ferguson at UFC 249 in 2020, only to lose to Khabib Nurmagomedov in the unification bout. Then came the heartbreak against Charles Oliveira at UFC 274 in 2022. Despite a knockout loss to Max Holloway at UFC 300 in 2024, Gaethje bounced back with a victory over Rafael Fiziev at UFC 313 in March 2025. His 2023 BMF title win over Dustin Poirier keeps him in the conversation, but the question remains, is he truly deserving of another shot?
I would put Justin Gaethje against Paddy Pimblett, me against Islam, once I pass him, I get the title, and you put me against Paddy.
You think Paddy's going to beat Justin Gaethje?
Easy.
Wow.
Easy.
Really easy?
Yeah, easy.
Really easy?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a crazy thing to say because Justin Gaethje's a fucking animal.
Yeah, but he doesn't know how to grapple. And Paddy knows
But he's a Division I wrestler. He knows how to grapple. You don't think he knows how to grapple? He just chooses not to. He chooses to stand and fight.
I don't think so. Did you ever saw him submitting someone?
I don't believe he's ever submitted someone, but I think that's because he likes to just crush people.
Topuria himself dismissed Gaethje as recently as July 2025, telling ESPN MMA, "Fighting against Justin Gaethje, I don't think that's going to be something exciting for the fans. He preferred new blood like Paddy Pimblett instead." But here's where things get controversial. The UFC subreddit exploded with negative reactions to this potential matchup. Fans are not holding back their opinions.
Justin Gaethje, I think he slept more at day than at night.
Oh, you think so? Did he parties?
I think so.
I don't
they
know.
put the camera on him on the last pay-per-view, and he looked like he was so high. Like this,
I'm not worried about.
Comments like "zero interest in this matchup" and "I do not want to see this" flooded social media. One fan noted that Ilya is just clearing up the lightweight division of the old guard, while others called it a bulls at fight. The concern for Gaethje is palpable. One Reddit user commented, "This would be Justin's third title shot. Everyone knows he will lose. Probably the easiest fight for Ilya." Another added, "Justin is going to join Colby and Dustin for going 0-3 in undisputed title fights." But the real controversy lies in who's being snubbed. Arman Tsarukyan, the official #1 contender, has been sidelined after withdrawing from UFC 311 due to injury. But Tsarukyan isn't staying quiet about this situation. "I am the #1 contender," Tsarukyan has stated emphatically. "I deserved the shot against Ilya. I've earned my place in line, and just because I had to pull out due to injury doesn't mean I should lose my spot."
To me. So I'm just still waiting, training, and trying to call out Ilya as much as possible.
Yeah, we've seen some of the tweets towards Ilya. They've been funny. I enjoyed the duck video that he did. What do you make of the fact that he says he would rather give up the belt than fight today? He just don't deserve it. He doesn't want it.
I mean, he feels that he's gonna lose that fight, and it's better to give the belt and then go up or wait when what happened with me, because he knows just I'm a big problem for him, and I'm gonna get his title. He knows that, and he wants to get easy fight with Paddy or Gage or with someone, just make money and to defend. But with me, this is gonna be hard for him.
The Armenian fighter has been vocal about his frustration, especially after Topuria mocked his reaction to the Oliveira knockout. Tsarukyan fired back, saying he's the most deserving challenger and that bypassing him for Gaethje would be a slap in the face to the ranking system. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, Islam Makhachev. The former lightweight champion was reportedly in talks for a Madison Square Garden bout against Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 322.
But this is his deal with UFC. I don't deal with UFC. This is his problem. But we have deal with them. He's gonna fight in Madison Square Garden, and they say yes.
If Topuria takes the November 15th slot, where does that leave Islam? The Dagestani fighter has been trying to secure his return to the big stage, but this potential Topuria-Gaethje booking could completely derail those plans. This creates a domino effect throughout the lightweight division, with Topuria potentially fighting Gaethje, Islam fighting for position, and contenders like Tsarukyan and Pimblett waiting in the wings. The entire division is in flux. The scheduling conflict also raises questions about the UFC's priorities. Are they choosing entertainment value over legitimate title contention? Are they prioritizing Gaethje's ultimatum over more deserving fighters? Let's not forget what makes Ilya Topuria so special. The 27-year-old is 17-0 and has achieved something no one thought possible, becoming a two-division champion in record time. His journey from knocking out Alexander Volkanovski for the featherweight title at UFC 298, to defending against Max Holloway at UFC 308, to vacating and immediately capturing the lightweight title by knocking out Charles Oliveira, it's unprecedented. Topuria has shown he's not just a champion, he's a finisher. Every title fight has ended in spectacular fashion. Whether facing Gaethje is the right move strategically, one thing is certain, it won't be boring. So there you have it, the leaked news that has the MMA world divided. Ilya Topuria's manager's warning to Justin Gaethje has created a storm of controversy. fan backlash, and scheduling chaos that could reshape the entire lightweight division. Will the UFC make this fight official? Will Gaethje get his third shot at gold? Will Islam Makhachev find another path to Madison Square Garden? And most importantly, will the fans eventually warm up to this potential matchup?